1940. In the freezing silence of Norway, something unseen was already moving.
Before the war reached the cities, before the bombs, the occupations, and the resistance movements, Northern Europe was quiet. Snow-covered coastlines stretched into the horizon. Small fishing towns lived by routine. Long winters passed, as they always had. For many, the North felt distant from the chaos unfolding across Europe. Too cold, too remote, too neutral to matter. But history does not care about distance, and it rarely respects neutrality. In the late 1930s, while much of the continent was already preparing for war, the Nordic countries appeared calm on the surface. Norway, Sweden, Denmark, and Finland, 4 nations, each with its own politics, its own fears, and its own belief that the storm might pass them by. Yet beneath that calm, the world was shifting. Germany was expanding, the Allies were watching closely, and the North Sea was no longer just cold water and trade routes. It was becoming a corridor of power. Iron ore, shipping lanes, access to the Atlantic. The North was no longer a background region, it was becoming a strategic prize. What makes the story of Northern Europe during World War II so unsettling is not the scale of destruction, but the speed at which normal life disappeared. There were no warning sirens at first, no dramatic declarations, just quiet decisions made far away and consequences that arrived suddenly. Neutrality, once seen as protection, slowly turned into a fragile illusion. Some countries tried to balance carefully. Some hoped compliance might buy time. Others were forced to choose between survival and resistance. And in many cases, by the time people understood what was happening, the choices had already been made for them. This is not just a story of armies crossing borders. It is a story of geography dictating fate, of small nations caught between greater powers, of silence breaking not with an explosion, but with realization. In the North, the war did not arrive screaming. It arrived quietly. And once it did, nothing was ever the same. In the next part, we will begin where that silence first truly ended, with Norway, and the moment when staying neutral was no longer an option.
The first real break in the silence came with Norway. It did not begin with a declaration that the world could clearly process in real time. It began instead with movement, sudden, coordinated, and already too advanced to be stopped. In the early hours of April 1940, German forces entered Norwegian territory by sea and air. The fjords, long associated with quiet fishing routes and isolation, became corridors for warships. At first, there was confusion. Reports arrived slowly, then too many at once, and finally, not at all. Coastal defenses attempted to respond, but the scale and speed of the operation left almost no room for coordination. This was not a distant front forming gradually. It was already inside the country's most important access points. Ports began to fall one by one. Communication lines broke under pressure. Orders were delayed, redirected, or never delivered. Oslo, Bergen, Trondheim, cities that had once represented normal civilian life, were suddenly reduced to strategic positions on a rapidly collapsing map. The Norwegian government did not surrender immediately. Instead, it moved, relocated, attempted to maintain continuity in a situation that was no longer stable enough to support it. But even this effort reflected a deeper reality. The structure of the country was fragmenting faster than it could adapt. Norway's importance was not based on population or industrial scale. It was geography. Control of its coastline meant access to the North Atlantic. It meant influence over naval movement routes. It meant oversight of supply lines that extended far beyond its borders. And beneath these visible reasons, there were resources, industrial materials that had become quietly essential to modern warfare logistics. Neutrality had not prevented invasion. It had only delayed contact with it. At almost the same time, Denmark faced a different kind of entry into the war. There was no prolonged warning, no extended build-up visible to the population. German forces crossed the border with overwhelming coordination and speed. The operation was designed not just for success, but for minimal resistance time. Within hours, Denmark's strategic position had already been determined. Unlike Norway, there was no campaign stretching across days or weeks. No withdrawal into interior regions. No space for regrouping, only immediate pressure. The Danish leadership was forced into a decision under extreme time constraint. Continue resistance and risk immediate and total destruction of infrastructure and civilian areas, or surrender and attempt to preserve what could still be protected under occupation. The decision was made quickly. Denmark chose surrender, and in doing so, it became one of the fastest occupied nations in modern European history. At first glance, life did not collapse in an instant. Institutions remained physically intact. Administrative systems continued to function. Daily routines were still visible on the surface. But beneath that surface, control had already shifted. Occupation does not always begin with destruction. Sometimes it begins with presence, with limitation, with gradual restriction that is not immediately felt, but steadily absorbed. And once that structure is in place, it rarely remains unchanged. What had occurred in Norway and Denmark was not an isolated sequence of events. It was the beginning of a wider transformation across northern Europe. And further north and east, other nations were already entering forms of pressure that would take very different shapes, some visible, some silent, and some not fully understood until much later. As the war tightened its grip on northern Europe, the events unfolding in Norway and Denmark were no longer isolated. They were part of something larger, something that was spreading quietly across the region. Further north, Sweden found itself in a position defined not by war, but by constant pressure. Sweden remained officially neutral, but neutrality during a global conflict is never still. It moves, it shifts, it reacts. German demands for transit routes did not arrive all at once. They increased slowly, then steadily, then became unavoidable. Economic pressure followed. Diplomatic conversations turned into constant negotiation. Every meeting carried tension, every decision carried consequence. And over time, neutrality stopped feeling like protection. It started feeling like balance under strain. There were no invasions into Sweden, no collapsing front lines. But influence does not always arrive with force. Sometimes it arrives with necessity. To the east, Finland was entering a very different reality. In 1939, the Winter War began. The Soviet Union advanced into Finnish territory, expecting a rapid conclusion, a short campaign, a controlled operation. But the terrain did not cooperate. Forests absorbed movement. Snow slowed everything. Cold turned survival itself into a challenge. Finnish forces adapted in ways that were not expected. Small units, fast movement, knowledge of terrain over numbers. It was not a conventional war. It was endurance under extreme conditions. Days became weeks, weeks became months, and expectations changed. Across northern Europe, each nation was now under a different form of pressure. Norway had faced direct invasion. Denmark had collapsed within hours. Sweden was held in constant strategic tension.
Finland was fighting for survival in frozen terrain. Different paths, different outcomes, but a shared reality underneath all of them. Geography had become decisive. Not politics, not ideology. Geography. The northern coastlines, once seen as remote, had become strategically essential. Control of access routes, control of ports, control of movement across the North Atlantic. And neutrality, once believed to be safety, had become something far more fragile, a condition that required constant adjustment. By the time the world fully understood what had happened in the North, the structure had already changed. Quietly, completely, irreversibly. Not only militarily, not only politically, but in how the region understood itself. Governments returned later, borders stabilized again, cities rebuilt. But something had already shifted, irreversibly. In Northern Europe, the war was not experienced as a single explosion of events. It was experienced as a gradual realization that arrived too late to prevent what had already begun. And what remained afterward was not just history. It was consequence. The North had not been destroyed. It had been redefined. And that redefinition would echo long after the war itself ended.